Linux. Now I am a fan of Linux. I love my Steam Deck. It's of course has SteamOS, which is Linux, and it's been great. I'm also very glad I bought my Steam Deck before the price hike, because holy fuck, that went up a lot. But anyway, that's another story. But anyways, because of the Steam Deck and seeing how good SteamOS was, I tried Bazzite OS in December of 2025. And I ran that for about 2 months straight. I didn't go on my Windows drive at all, because I wanted to get the full experience, see what I could do. And I did run into some issues. Mostly because my desktop PC has NVIDIA and it's got an Intel processor. And I mean, it's a good PC for Windows, but for Bazzite, not so much. But I tried to stay with it. It's just, there was too many issues. I would have like random graphics issues where it'd be fine one day, and then the next day it would look all shitty, or they'd do an update and Steam would stop working. And then I couldn't get the lights on my computer to change because they use the Vantage, because it's a Lenovo PC, and there was no equivalent on Bazzite that worked. The only one that even remotely did anything, there was a LGB lighting or whatever it was called that someone recommended, but all that did was fuck up my keyboard. It messed those lights up. And my desktop lights never changed at all. I had to log into Windows to change them. And then there was Oblivion Creation Kit, which I like to use to make mods. And I could not for the life of me get that to work on Bazzite. It would act like it was going to install, and then I don't know where the fuck it put it, but I could never get it to open or even find it once I installed it. So then I'd uninstall it from the source and start over. It was just a nightmare. So eventually I just gave up on that and then realized, okay, I'm gonna have to go to Windows when I want to make mods. So again, had to go back to Windows. So yeah, like mostly I played DC and stuff. So like Steam games for the most part would work fine until they didn't. Like with NVIDIA, it just seemed like there would be random issues that would just pop up. Like if you're yelling in your game, it'll be fine, and then a couple days later, it's not fine. And the desktop always would look like washed out. That said, there was a lot of things I liked about Bazzite. Like it was snappy, it was quick, there was no bloatware or nothing, so it was really nice for that. And I really liked it, which is why I stuck with it for as long as I did. But I ended up having to go back to the Windows, which, you know, it's fine. I mean, you just disable Copilot and in the startup menu, and for the most part you're good. And I also disable OneDrive because I don't like to use that. But not a big deal. So as long as I'm running this PC with my current hardware setup, I'm gonna have to stay on Windows. But down the road, I may look into, like when it comes time to upgrade, which eventually will happen, I'll probably go to an AMD card. And then I'll try another Linux distro, maybe Mint or something, I don't know, maybe CachyOS. I've heard good things about both of those. Bazzite I liked, but I don't know that I would go back to that. Like, it was great for gaming. I loved it. Like, shit just worked. Like, I could plug my PlayStation 3 controller into there and it would just work. So that was nice. But currently I'm using an Xbox controller anyway, so Windows is fine for that. But yeah, so as far as Linux goes, I think if you got NVIDIA, just stay on Windows. Save yourself the headache. If you got AMD though, because I will say, like, in my Steam Deck, no issues at all, because, you know, it's a Steam Deck, it's AMD, it's made for Linux. So running the Steam Deck, I know Linux can be good because I've seen it. And I'm quite sure that when Windows 12 or whatever comes out, by that point I might need a new PC or an upgrade, in which case then I'll probably just get something AMD so I can go to Linux. I'm sure by then it'll be better. People said like the whole Bazite's supposed to work so good with Linux, but it really doesn't. I mean with NVIDIA, with Linux, of course it is Linux. Duh. But one of the main reasons I actually went with Bazite OS is because it was supposed to just work with NVIDIA, and it really just doesn't work with NVIDIA. It works sometimes. And I know there's people out there that are, oh, work great for me, I had no problems. Well, guess what? I'm not you. I had problems. And I'm not the only one. I've seen the forums and Reddits and whatnot. And lots of people have got issues with NVIDIA and Linux. And that's not even Linux's fault. That's NVIDIA's fault. But at the time that I bought my PC, I was really just looking to get something that would play Oblivion Remastered well. Because that game had just come out, and I was like, it's time to upgrade my PC. So I searched around, and the one I found, which had NVIDIA, ended up being what I went with. And at that time, I didn't know nothing about Linux back then. So had I known that I would maybe want to go to Linux in the future, I would have absolutely bought an AMD setup. But at the time, just didn't know. So here we are, and I've done the Linux experiment for now, and then now I'm back on Windows. But I don't hate Linux, and I do plan to return to it in the future. It's just at the moment, it's not for me. So that's probably all I got to really say about Linux. I mean,